Here in Florida, it's only 91 degrees. Feels like it's a friggin' 101 degrees. So the latest is Vice President Harris's economic plan. It wasn't much of a plan. Kind of the status quo. I think the controversial issue with that is that she's talking about price control. All you have to do is do a Google search or do some research. It doesn't work. It creates a lot of unintended consequences. Just like rent control doesn't work. Rent control might make things affordable, but it creates slumlords, terrible living conditions. I mean, that's proven. Look at the city of New York. You know, when you control the rent, there's no incentive for the owners to fix it up, put any money into it. So, trying to control the price does not work. The best form of economic growth is to have competitive pricing. You see it with cars, right? Manufacturer gets too many cars on the lot, they start giving you special financing, they start giving you discounts. That's how you let the market control the price. She's trying to blame the failure. She's not saying there's any failures, but she's trying to blame the high cost of everything on President Trump. And they've been in office for 3.5 years. The policy that they've enacted and that they've used, policy that they have used has created inflation. Government creates inflation. No one else. Government creates inflation. But let's go over price control. For those of you who were in the 70s, remember the long lines at the gas pump. President Nixon tried it. It was used after World War II. And in the short term, it may work, but not in the long term. It's a populist idea that's doomed. And what gets me is that anyone who was sitting there cheering that, either you're ignorant, don't understand, or you're being paid to do. Because she was completely reading off the teleprompter. All you have to do is ask her, without the teleprompter, give me an example of where price control has worked. Right? You can't humor. Right? If you work at a business that's under price control, there's too many other variables that business cannot control. They cannot. If you're a farmer, you farm corn, so you can't control the price of the seed. You can't control the price of the fertilizer, right? If you control the price and the seed prices go up, if the chemical prices go up, if insurance on the business goes up, if things go up and the farmer can't raise his prices, what happens? They go out of business. And if they don't go out of business, they have to cut costs. And what's the quickest way? If you've ever run a business like I have, or owned a business like I have, and you need to cut costs quickly, you get rid of people, right? People lose their jobs. It's the quickest way. So I think her idea, terrible idea. Can't work. Has never worked. The only places I think it's ever worked is communist countries, right? Communist countries have price control, but they control everything. They control the prices, They control how much money you can make a week. They control everything. That's why people try to get the hell out of it. Right? So, I don't know, the people who were in that auditorium or whatever it was, cheering behind her when she was talking about price control. You gotta be ill-informed. You gotta be ill-informed. Terrible. I don't know how else to say it. I thought she was gonna come out with some big grand plan, and there's no plan. She's talking like she's not in office, and she's trying to go into office and unseat their current president, right? Like you're like Trump's in office and you're trying to unseat him, so you come out with populist ideas. But you are in office. You're the vice president. Why can't you enact these policies now? Why didn't President Biden enact price control? Because even as far gone as he is, and they know it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So anybody have anything to say? I know they made an announcement to do more with the prescription drugs. Okay, give you a little tidbit if you haven't looked into it. President Trump tried this in 2020, right? President Trump had a big news conference and said, we're going to negotiate the price of prescription drugs. And the media ripped him apart. Said, too little, too late. You're just trying to save your presidency. And this is from an article from one of the reporters who was there. The reporter said, anyone knows that rule changes take years to have any meaningful impact, right? It takes years for rule changes to have any impact. And they ripped Trump in 2020, right? Because he was trying to save the presidency. Now, Biden and Harris make an announcement, and the media cheers. The media cheers. Well, where were you 4 years ago when Trump came out with it, right? They called it a populist, something that too little, too late. He's trying to save his presidency. So come on. She has no new policy. It's all the same. So that's what it comes down to, right? If you believe that everything is good under Biden, then you vote for Biden. Because that's what you're getting. She's a little bit more extreme though, right? She's a little bit more extreme. If you read her, see her videos from the past, right? You can't run from your past. You can't. You've been out there now, right? You were a senator, and then you were a candidate for president, and now you're the vice president. And some of the comments that you've made, all of a sudden, you don't believe in any of it, right? Because you're too extreme. If you got to back off your comments, if you have to back off what you've said in the past, then someone's advising you and telling you that you're too extreme, and you can't sell that, right? So, what do people want to do? It's just all you have to do is sit there. The first question you ask her, give me an example of how price control works. Can't do it. She can't do it. She wouldn't be able to do it. She'd be telling you something about Russia or China, right? Let's say I'm a manufacturer in the United States, right? Let's say let's say you're going to put price control on cars. Okay. The car A, you only can sell for 25 grand. Right? You only can sell it for 25 grand. That car. But you get your parts from Canada, you get your parts from Mexico, you get your parts from Russia, you get parts from everywhere, right? And then they come to the United States and you assemble, right? Let's say those parts start going up in cost. How you gonna, and you can't pass that on to the consumer, right? What's up, Reese? How you doing? Awesome. Let's say you can't pass that cost onto the consumer, right? Then you're going to go out of business. You're going to go out of business. And when you pass the cost onto the consumer, how is that controlled? It's controlled because you have to worry about the other car manufacturers, right? What they're going to charge. So then you might absorb some of the costs. You may pass some of the costs on. Free market takes care of itself. Right? Down here in Florida, we have people who sell fruit at street corners, right? They come out with a bag of fruit, five key lime for $3. Some oranges, some avocados are all wrapped up in a net, $5. But the guy on the other street corner decides to start selling it for $4. What are you going to do? You're going to lower your price down to $4 to compete with the person over there. Right? And then at some point you got to draw the line because you can't keep cutting the cost too much, right? If you have to cut too much, then you just go about your business. You're out. Right? So it's a terrible policy. I don't even see how people are cheering it. Price control doesn't work. Rent control doesn't work. Never been tried in the United States on especially with food. Can't work. So make some comments. Let me see see what you think. I'm heading into a thrift store. As you people know, a lot of people know that listen to my videos, and I'm a therapist. And on Saturdays I go around and I visit the local thrift stores and try to find some good clothes and good shoes, sometimes crutches and walkers that people can't afford, and I try to get them on the cheap. And then when I see my patients during the week, I pass them on. That's one of the people that need it. So I hope you listen to the video. And at the end, the economic plan was nothing much of an economic plan. It was just her giving a bunch of populist ideas. And I'll just leave you with this: if they're so great, why do you have to wait until you're the president? You're the vice president. Why don't you enact them now? Because even the guy who supports you, the president, won't do it. He knows it's a terrible idea. All right, happy Saturday, everybody. See you later.